Facebook's been acting up, so I'm just going to share this on YouTube. So thank you all so much, and thank you, Andrea, for being such an incredible leader. You are the best of the best. Oh my gosh, you are just such a gift to us all, and we so love you and all that you do and the great leader that you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being such an awesome leader. And good morning, Longevity Nation. Oh my gosh, what a great day it is. Guess what? It's definitely a fantastic, wonderful. Did you know that wonderful is spelled Onederful? That's how it's spelled in the Bible. It wasn't spelled with a W. It's spelled with an O, and that means we're all one. So what a wonderful Wednesday it is, and you all are wonderful because we're in it to win it together, and we are one. So today, just a couple things I want you to remember. Check out Victoria's Tidbits. You can go to the Resource Center, longevityRC.com. There's so many great things there that can help you grow in your business. You have a replicated video that you can send out to people that'll drive people right to your website. Oh my gosh, check those things out. If you're not getting on Tom Chenault's call, they talk about these things pretty much every morning. But if you're not getting on there in the morning, it may be very early where you are. Definitely make sure that you go to the Resource Center and just continue to get additional information for your business, where you're going, the life you're living, and just wanting you to succeed in business in every area of your life. So today, where are your riches? I guess you're wondering, hello, are they in your pocket? Are they in your bank account? I don't know, but I bring on a champion. He is absolutely blazing the trails of success. He absolutely wants to see you win, succeed, prosper. He will help anyone. He's got a heart bigger than Texas. People say as big as Texas, bigger than Texas. But he just wants to see all of Longevity Nation win. And so he gets on this corporate call, shares his heart, shares his tools, shares his wisdom. I bring on the water doctor himself, absolutely known all around the world, here to help you win. Find out where are your riches, the incredible Fred Van Liew. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Linda, the incredible Linda and Andrea. Oh my gosh. I mean, how do you live up to that? I forgot to bring my pin. I always have a pin here. So just before she puts me on, I pop the bubble to let the air out so my head fits on the screen. It's so amazing. You've got to get yourself a Linda to introduce you every time you speak. It's pretty amazing. I'm trying to figure out a way to put her in a can and bring her with me everywhere. But seriously, today, I really wanted to share, it was just on my heart. It was, where are your riches? Truly, where are your riches? And I mean, I can think of the revelation of where those really are when it really came to the forefront in a huge way. And it was when I had been 5 years into my water business. My son had nearly died from the poisons that had gone through the biggest carbon block filter made, and I was really upset. You don't want to get me mad. So I'd started, digging into every type of water treatment media, what they do, what they don't do. And no one had ever really done that before, evidently, because people lying through their teeth. Have you ever noticed that whatever product someone has, it's the answer for everything? And fortunately, we don't have to do that. We have products that will handle virtually everything, which is kind of nice. We have too many products. No, we have several thousand products and services, but we don't have to use them all. But isn't it nice? We got a Sears catalog that's always about 4 inches thick. When I was growing up, my mom didn't buy everything, but it was nice to see that everything was in there if you needed it. That's what we get to offer. But so in this situation, my son nearly died, and that's what propelled me into the water business full time. I was so mad that so much false information was out there. Well, in our industry, we're cleaning up our industry, and I have 4 years. I've been in this industry for so long that I was in it when they were, misleading people and the deception and all, and you don't have to do that. And it just always rankled me, and it made me literally resign from a retirement in this industry years and years ago. I just was like, I'd had it up to here. You say, Fred, really? Yeah, I walked away. I walked away. That was my statement. I didn't tell anyone else to do it. I just walked away, and it was real. I was up on the wall in Ada, Michigan, and I mean, my tie was signed by the big guy. But anyway, so I started my water business, and 5 years later, I was working with chiropractors because I wasn't even out of my garage yet, and I was invited to speak to the head of the excuse me, largest chiropractic support organization in the world, and Carl Parker was running it, and Dr. Carl Parker. And so I went with a box of my smaller filters, and I had at the time almost 120 different filters and filter combinations. And I sat down, and he grilled me for almost 3 hours. I'm like, well, jeepers. And at the end of it, he looked at me and he said, Fred, he said, I've talked to all the big guys, but you're the only one that's given me straight answers to my questions. More importantly, the only one that told me what your filters wouldn't do, each particular filter, as well as what they would do. And he said, I want you to consider speaking at all of our events, which they're usually 2,000 to 8,000 chiropractors at a time. Oh my gosh, I'm not even out of my garage yet. And he said, and I'd like you to make all of your filtration available as well as to teach. He said, be aware, they're used to people coming in and taking their money and disappearing. So it could be 3 events before you even make any sales. Well, that's not what happened. The first event, Carl told the chiropractor who was out on the West Coast that became a dear friend about me, said, go over, talk to Fred. That chiropractor, Ed Wagner, purchased a whole house system and just a bunch of stuff. And the other doctors saw him do that. And all of a sudden I had all these sales the very first time, right out of the gate. God takes care of us when your intention is pure. And what happened just about 4 years after that is I was looking at, I had a glass ceiling above me. I had never run a brick and mortar business like that. And I decided to take on a partner. It was between a banker and this other fellow that the couple, but the fellow did the talking, and I chose the couple, and I found out he lied. Anyway, for a year it was pretty good, but then they decided they needed that little extra percent to have, at least on paper, controlling interest for banking purposes only. Please don't ever believe that. The minute I gave them that extra 2%, the next day it was like boom. And so not long after that, they literally took the business away from me. And days before this huge chiropractic convention in Dallas, at the Dallas Fort Worth Airport. And I always made water for them. They always had pure reverse osmosis water. They had a whole display, everything. And I'm standing there at that event, and I would have been standing there with nothing, but I called my friend who had a water purification company, bottling company. And I said, look, I've got nothing. I don't have any credit card processing. I don't even have a business name yet, but these chiropractors, they're used to coming, and I have water. Is there any way you could, provide me with some cases of water? It was really beautiful water. And I said, and I'll pay you when I can. He said, how much do you need, Fred? And I told him, he said, it'll be there, no charge. And I'm like, whoa. So I get to this event, and I'm standing there, and, I've got nothing but a pad and this water, and I'm handing it out, and they're asking me this, and I explained what happened. And I said, they said, well, we'd like to purchase, a whole house system. I said, but I don't have any credit card processing, and I don't even know when I'll be able to fill the order. He said, it doesn't matter, Fred. We've known you now. We trust you. When you can fill the order, we'll pay you in cash. We're talking several $1,000s. I'm like, whoa. And this went on and on: shower filters, whole home systems, under-counter reverse osmosis systems, thousands of dollars in purchases in cash I didn't even have a name. They said, Fred, we don't care what you call it, just so long as it has the name Fred Van Liew on it. And I'm like, wow. That's where I began to understand. When you invest in people, I invested in these doctors for several years. My knowledge, my time, treated their patients very fairly. That's where I gained my reputation. And they gave it back to me in spades when I needed it most. It's tough to talk about these things, folks. I don't think about them all that often. But I wanted to share that because look at the business that we have. We have a business where we invest in others with absolutely no guarantee of a return, do we? We invest in other people. We invest in what we see in them when they can't see it in themselves. But when you do that, it's like depositing in the bank, only it produces much better interest when it hits. When I ended up, in the hospital, when I ended up in the hospital, and a little over 3 years ago after my diving accident, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of you that I didn't know who you were, but you prayed for me. You wished me well. And that, as far as healing goes, is even better than 90 for life. But the two together, disease doesn't have a chance. Your wealth is in the people. Your wealth is in the relationships you build. That's where you must look at the investment, not for what it brings you now, but the value of that investment to that person first. You see, you're investing in that person. And when you invest without the expectation of return, no guaranteed return, it's a genuine donation of yourself into that person. But it doesn't go unrewarded. There's always a return. It just isn't always in your timing, and you may not always see it. That kind of investment has brought me so many comments years after I would work with a person. And they would say something to me like, you made such a difference in my life, blah, blah, blah. And I had no idea. I mean, I love it when I can say I had no idea. The chiropractor, doctor, brilliant young man that introduced me to a huge mastermind group of business owners here. I was getting so frustrated in these groups where you hand business cards and I'm like, now Fred, we got a hair salon 40 hours away that they want a $180 air purifier. Yeah, I'm going to take a day to go sell an air purifier. I sell cases of air purifiers. Anyway, sorry about that. But this business, you had to be doing, on average 2 million or more in business, be the business owner or a major party. And so Dr. Richard Thwaites is the name of this doctor. And then he hit a rough patch, right? His marriage fell apart. It was contentious, etc. And he's just so brilliant. But when you're going through that, have any of you ever been in that place where you just felt like you were worthless? That maybe you just weren't that good a person after all, and you started buying into it? Well, Richard stayed in that for a bit, and I had no idea that words that I had said to him genuinely, because I so appreciated what he had done for me, and I so acknowledged his absolute brilliance. I had no idea, but years later, he called me, he wanted some help with marketing, and I went there, and that was just after my accident. And my leg I was still dragging my leg and all kinds of things. And he said, what's up? And he had me explain, and he threw me on the table and checked me out. And he said, okay, you're going to do this, this, this. Well, it turns out he taught most of the doctors in all the different professions how to pass their boards. So he knew who all the best doctors were. So he can get me in hours or days where normally it takes weeks or months now to get with a real top specialist. And that's what I got from Richard. And then when I had the blood clot and I dropped dead, blah, 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 on my birthday, a little over a year ago, Richard was right there at the hospital on a Saturday, making sure, he was the first person Kathy called, my wife, making sure I got transferred to the best hospital that we had already prearranged just in case something happened. But that investment of a few words, genuinely from the heart, encouraging him, lifting him out of wherever he was. I had no idea. You just do it. The second caveat of that is, how important is it that you invest in yourself, that you learn to communicate, that you learn to be more aware, that you learn to listen, that you learn to be comfortable reaching out outside your comfort zone. None of us like to step into someone else's doo-doo, but we're in the crap. They may need us, you know? If you're a farmer, you know, the animals get stuck. You got to get down there in the mud and unstick them. This is why farmers do so well. Stan Dennison, man, this is a man who's not afraid of work, is he? He'll jump in there in that mud, and he'll jump in your mud if you've got it, if you need it, and he sees he can help. So my message is that the strength. Oh, and that second bout in the hospital, you guys really came forward. I mean, unbelievable. The support from people I still didn't even know your names. That's where the wealth is. And I knew it, and I know it now. It's not what you have in the bank today. When everything collapses, it's those relationships you've developed, the trust that you have worked in integrity. And you say, but I haven't worked in integrity up to now. Then start today. That's what you do. You start today and you build forward. Look, I was a schmuck when I first entered network marketing at 27 years of age. You know the story, shy, the whole deal, you know, no self-esteem, and rough edges, and it all came out the way I treated people. But others invested in me. And today I'm this wonderful, glorious, nice, smooth, no ruffled feathers ever. Ask my wife, ask Tom Chenault, ask Scott Fardulis, how many rough edges are there? But this is a polished gem compared to where I started. And if people like you had not invested in me, I wouldn't be here like this. The other is, friends call friends first. Do you ever wonder how the rich keep getting richer? Well, whenever a good deal comes, they call their rich friends first. Hey, you want in on this deal? How come they get to do that? Well, see, they know that their friend has the freedom to say no. What we haven't learned is we should give people permission to say no first. And this is what I'll leave you with, because it changed the whole course of my business life. When I'm talking to a friend, a relative, or especially someone that maybe a business relationship didn't go all that well last time. None of you have ever been in that situation, I know. I always say, hey, Linda, I've got something I want to share. I'm so excited, but you know, we've tried, you've gone with me before, but it didn't work out. But look, I want to share this, but there's one thing I got to know for absolute certainty, that you are willing to say no if this isn't a good fit, because I don't want to share it with you and put you in an uncomfortable situation. I'm okay with no, but this is so good, I want to share it. But if you tell me you're comfortable saying no, I'm telling you I'm very comfortable hearing no from you, and then I'll tell you what it is that's going on. Are you comfortable with saying no to me? Now, folks, I'm telling you, write it down. Because when I did that with my brother years and years ago, by accident, he knew what I was doing. He knew the company I was doing, and you know, a large family that all knew. And I said, Rich, it's okay to say no. I just want to tell you, you know, the details of what I'm doing, but it's okay to say no. And he just turned his head and he looked at me. And he said, really, Fred? I said, really, Rich, it's okay. I just want to tell you what I'm doing. He said, okay. Well, he didn't sleep that night and he got in the next morning. Okay. And that's a long time ago. But that is an important thing. Permission to say no. It is just as strong as permission to move forward. Permission to say no. Never forget it. Put it in your verbiage when you're dealing with someone that you think might be a little uncomfortable based on prior experience, or if you don't know them well enough that you think, well, I don't want to put them in an uncomfortable situation. Just say, hey, there's something very important I want to share with you. And it could literally change your life. However, I need to know you're comfortable saying no to me. After all, I'm the great and wonderful Fred Van Liew, according to Linda Tyler. All right, with a head too big for the screen now. But but I need to know you're comfortable saying no. So with that, I'll leave you. The two things: your riches are in your relationships and the people you know and care about, because they care about you. A lot more of them care about you than you even know. And the second is always give permission to say no and mean it. All right. God bless. I'll leave you with that. I hope that helps.
Absolutely, it helps, Fred. Wow, that is so good. I guess people were like thinking riches and money. And I mean, of course, all of those things come, and you can have those things, but rich in relationships, people that are on their deathbed are definitely not saying, man, I got so much money in my bank account. They're looking for the people that are connected to them. Like you said, when you were in the hospital, you were like, all of the people that gathered, that supported you, that did that. Go ahead, Fred.
Absolutely. I just wanted, when someone when Trump lost everything a number of years ago, and I remember saying to Kevin Trudeau, I said, Kevin, what do you think he's going to do now? He said he'll probably just build it again, only bigger and better. But he'd say, it's better to have been there once than never been there at all. So, but what did he do? He called his friends, the relationships that he had. He needed to do that to build on the scale that he builds. You and I have to remember that. Don't be afraid when everything seems to go south to call friends. Well, we have it built into our system. It's called Upline. Don't be afraid to call Upline. God bless.
Wow. Fred, so amazing. And I love that. And it's so true. Sometimes people are so afraid to reach out to people and ask for help. I tell people all the time, don't be afraid to ask for help, especially if you really need a lifeline. That's why people commit suicide. When you think about, I know several people, not only in this company, but around the world, who've committed suicide. But if they would have just reached out and said, help me, keeping everything's bottled up inside, you just never know. And reach out to people when you think about them. You never know when they just need a word from you, or just, they might be on the edge. They may not be reach out, but God has put them in your spirit for a reason for you to reach out to them, call them, or send them a text or something. So I so appreciate you, Fred, your heart, your spirit, your infectious love for people. We love you. I'm going to unmute the Zoom. Give it up, you guys, for the incredible Fred Van Liew. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
I see all these.
Thank you, Fred. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you so much, Fred. I did not
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Fred and Linda.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
so
Andrea.
much.
Andrea. Thank
Thank you,
you.
everybody.
Thank you, Linda and
Oh my
Andrea.
goodness, that
Wonderful
call was so
women.
good.
Yes.
So good.
Yes, it
Thank you,
was.
So much,
Fred, for just
Fred.
I'm
being
You're amazing.
transparent and
sideways.
sharing your
All
heart
of you
with
on
us.
YouTube
We
and
love you so
Facebook, we
much.
love you.
Come back, Fred. Where you going? Don't be
Yeah.
fading away.
Thank
Come
you,
back
Fred.
He's moving
here.
around the screen.
He was fading away from all the comments. Like, oh, you stop
Thank
it. You know
you all
they're all
so
true,
much.
sir.
Tony Breland, Miss Pat, Heather Hager, Dr.
Thank
Naomi
you.
Elcock, Carol's iPhone, Lorenzo Rothery, all of you
Yes.
guys, Cindy Beyonce, Cadillac, Indiana.
Yes, I
We
second
love
what
y'all.
she's saying. That's right. We love y'all.
Love y'all too.
Love you
Thank
too.
Thank you.
you.
It is always
Yes.
Y'all
a
are back.
pleasure to hear
Hey, Rod,
Fred.
Reggie
Love
Holt,
to learn.
Lorenzo Rothery, Cadillac, Indiana, Beverly Davis. Love y'all.
Yeah.
Love you
Yes,
too.
Have a
Love
blessed
you back.
day.
she's absolutely
Hey, Miss
rock,
Tag,
rock,
good to see
rock.
you. Hey, Rod,
Hey,
Cadillac.
Pat. Nice to
Hey,
see
Miss
you.
Pat.
Yes, Mary Nichols. We love you guys. Master
Thank
Gun.
Yes,
you.
Love
we
you
do.
too.
Have a
Yes.
fantastic day.
Yes,
You too.
everybody. I second and third that. And you too, LT. Thank you for all that love. Thank you for just being so wonderful and so thoughtful and so loving towards each and every one of us. We love and appreciate you so very much.
I
Mwah,
love and
mwah, mwah.
appreciate
Look
you.
at
Woo!
Woo woo! Have a great day, everyone.
Have
We
a
love you,
wonderful
champions.
Wednesday.
You
Thank you. It was
too.
a good
Miss
way to
Connie,
start
you're
the
always
day.
looking beautiful.
DERFUL. Wonderful.
Hey, that's
Oh, I
right.
like
Hey,
that,
I love
Linda.
it. That's
Wonderful.
right.
Yeah, with the O.
Yeah. See y'all later. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Transporter out.
You too.
Later, later.
Later.